Subscribe, hype, like, click the notification bell and turn on all notifications. And donate with a super thanks donation in the comments section below for the unfiltered, unapologetic SeanzViewEnt, your home for WWE news, rumors, and backstage chaos. This is where gossip gets exposed around the clock. Now, here's your host, the brash SeanzViewEnt.
Just hours removed from AEW Double or Nothing, we all know that this is a WWE dedicated channel. This is a WWE news, rumors, and gossip speculation channel primarily. Oh yeah, sometimes we go off course and talk about AEW. But ladies and gentlemen, sometimes the truth needs to be told. Sometimes we have to lay out the facts. Sometimes the proof has to be in the pudding. Are we looking at one of the greatest pay-per-views of not only the year for AEW last night at Double or Nothing, but are we looking at that being the greatest AEW pay-per-view of all time? Because if you look at the timeline right now following AEW Double or Nothing, the wrestling community is absolutely losing its collective minds. And honestly, I have to be right there with them, even as a WWE fan. Welcome back to SeanzViewEnt. And look, I just finished watching the show not once, but twice. All right? And I had to hop on here to do a massive review to get your review, your comments, your opinions. What did you think about AEW Double or Nothing? The results, the highlights, the motions, the matches of the night, the predicaments of the night, the heel turns of the night. This was an impressive showing from top to bottom. You're hearing things like and seeing things online like Easy 10. They always bang and go all out, and that is exactly it. There was no coasting for that show. I even saw another comment point out that it wasn't just the main card. They said even the pre-show was a perfect 10, top to bottom. They left everything in the ring, did AEW. You can say what you want about WWE. And again, I am a WWE fan, and I'm not the biggest AEW fan. I'll admit that. I'll go on record as saying that. But again, even you have to admit AEW is surpassing the WWE in every way, shape, form, and possible right now. Because, ladies and gentlemen, for the people who actually were in the building in New York, forget about it. It must have been a religious experience. You've got someone who was there saying 10 out of 10 live, maybe the best show they have seen in person. You could feel the energy bleeding through the television screen. And when the crowd is that red hot, and then you have good old JR Jim Ross calling the action. A great show. Some are calling it an all-time classic. Multiple other people's in the thread dropping the perfect 10 bomb without a second thought. Now look, you have the right to give your opinion, your thoughts, and your ratings, because this show is all about each and every one of you here on The Brash and The Brazen. Just hours before Monday Night Raw tonight on Netflix on a Monday night. How is the WWE going to answer? How can the WWE follow this up? How can the WWE react to this? How is the WWE, in my opinion, they're going to have to go back to the drawing board. The WWE is very fully behind, but not just in a pay-per-view sense. No, because, ladies and gentlemen, you have those fans grading on a tough curve. One guy gave it an 8, saying a few matches brought it down. I saw another fan drop an 8 because while they were absolutely stoked that Cage and Cope won the tag team titles, Edge and Christian, they absolutely detested how fast the main events, the main belt got slapped back onto MJF in the main event. And hey, I get it. Booking is subjective, and if your favorite guy gets swerved and loses the belt, you might as well knock a point off. But an 8 or 9 for a show this good is still a massive win. But the comments that really got me fired up are the ones positioning out and pointing out the elephant in the room. Another reviewer dropped a 10 and compared it to the last dozen WWE pay-per-views. Someone else just flat out says it's better than WWE, pointing out that AEW actually gives you more matches on their pay-per-views. You are getting your hard-earned money's worth. And, of course, somebody's immediately pointing out that the diehard loyalists are deep in the comment sections are trying to defend the other brand. But where is the lie, ladies and gentlemen? Well, that is exactly why AEW is so vital to the industry right now. When you drop your money on an AEW pay-per-view, you are getting an uninterrupted wrestling show. You know what AEW isn't plagued by. Giant neon energy drink ads plastered right in the middle of the ring mat. They don't have corporate sponsors slapped all over the announcers' tables, the barricades, the turnbuckles like a NASCAR vehicle. And the commercials, my God, the commercials, the constant ads on WWE. We sit through so many bloated, predictable WWE shows where you get pulled out of a blood feud main event for a 5-minute ad break during a car insurance or a movie trailer. AEW doesn't do that, okay? Again, you have to give the devil its due. You got to say where the positives are the positives in the wrestling business. They don't treat your attention span like a joke. They ring the bell and they let the best wrestlers in the world just wrestle. And even a regular table. Like, see, remember those regular tables that we used to get on WWE that had no ads on them? Well, AEW doesn't have ads on them like the WWE does. Let's just say that the quiet part right now, we're going to say the quiet part out loud, ladies and gentlemen. When you look at the match quality, the lack of corporate spam on the mat last night, the pacing, the sheer volume of in-ring action, AEW clears WWE in every way possible right now. That's not to say that the WWE can't go back to the drawing board, because they have to. The WWE could learn a thing or two from what AEW Double or Nothing gave us last night. And honestly, if Tony Khan and this roster keeps delivering events like Double or Nothing, where there is zero filler and absolute classics top to bottom, heel turns, championship outings, some would say the biggest thing was it was very predictable. But just because something is predictable doesn't mean it is bad. We have to start having a very serious conversation. AEW has the legitimate potential to completely outgrow the WWE. And I said that, guys. I just said it. As a WWE fan, I've been a fan through and through the worst, through the greatest, through the best, through the ugly, through the thick, through the thin in the WWE. The momentum, though, it's shifting. Fans are getting tired of the sterile, heavily produced, overly added WWE machine that is World Wrestling Entertainment. And they are flocking to the alternative. And if this trend continues, ladies and gentlemen, if this trend continues, WWE is going to be looking up at AEW in the rear view mirror, okay? Now, I agree with the timeline. It is a flawless victory. And if you haven't seen the event yet, stay off social media, avoid the spoilers, and go watch the replay and go pay for it immediately. Because again, as a WWE fan, some have even referred to me as a WWE apologist. I gotta say, ladies and gentlemen, AEW put forth, in my opinion, and I've seen a lot of good, a lot of bad. But when it comes to delivery, when it comes to consistency, okay, you can brag and say, oh, the ratings are down, attendance is down for AEW, and it may very well be. But last night, it was a packed crowd. It was sold out. It was jam-packed to the rafters. It was standing room only for AEW last night. And when you got a WWE fan coming on here, we getting used to call it WWE apologist, coming on here and having to admit the truth. Does it hurt? No, because this should force the WWE to do better. This should force the WWE to improve. I'm hoping that the WWE took a good, long, hard look at what AEW had to present to us last night on pay-per-view. And the other thing about AEW is you don't have to pay for multiple platforms to get the same product. That's another big glaring issue with WWE, is you got to get Netflix, you got to get ESPN, you got to get this, that, and the other. Then you got to pay for regular cable to watch SmackDown on the USA Network. It's a lot of money. It is a lot of money. Not to mention the tickets, the ticket prices for WWE, although they seemingly look like they are trying to lower the ticket prices, at least for the summertime. So they got the WWE got that going for them. But guys, when it comes to credibility, when it comes to consistency, when it comes to reliability, you got to give the nod. Again, I hate to say it. And again, guys, I know this might shock you. I know, but guys, it's just one of those things, because this channel, you got to understand, this channel is not just about news, rumors, and headlines. It's about reviews. It's about previews. It's about the foundation of where the wrestling business is. It's about your overall analysis, your thoughts, your opinions of what you saw, what you got, and what we are ultimately getting. I mean, I haven't done a rant in a long time, so this could be one of those videos that could probably be seen as a rant. And AEW has nothing to be ashamed of. Again, probably the biggest thing about that last night was that it was the match finishes were predictable, but the action was unstoppable. The action was of an elite level. They do call themselves All Elite Wrestling after all. And again, AEW, ladies and gentlemen, put on a show of shows last night. Again, some are calling it the greatest AEW pay-per-view of all time. And that may stand the test of time. Now, we got WWE Clash in Italy coming up. Some are saying that AEW Double or Nothing was even better than WrestleMania. Certainly better than Backlash. But Clash in Italy could definitely test that theory, make no mistake about it. Then we got rumors and gossip of a top-tier star going over to another brand, going over to another promotion. Is it going to be an AEW star transitioning to WWE after they lost last night? Maybe not happy with creative. Is it going to be a WWE star going to AEW, realizing what they're having, realizing how good it is, realizing the standard that AEW has set? Is it going to be a WWE star transitioning and saying, you know what, enough of the pay cuts, enough of the releases. I want to go to AEW. I want to go where the action is. I don't want to go where the I don't want to go where the ads are. I want to go where there's an ad apocalypse over there. You know? Also, ladies and gentlemen, this is breaking news coming in at this hour and at this time. Former WWE commentator Pat McAfee welcomes second child into the world. Congratulations to Pat McAfee, no matter your thoughts, your comments, or your opinions of him. So, ladies and gentlemen, it was a magical night. It was a night that you will remember for years and years. A night that you will tell your friends, your girlfriends, your boyfriends, your family, your aunts, your uncles. You will be telling everybody around the coolers, around the locker rooms, in high school, at work, at the mall, at the hall, at the movies, exactly what AEW exemplified last night, and hopefully what the WWE will do. Now, there's been a lot of rumor and gossip. There's been a lot of speculation about the return of Bronson Reed. But believe me, WWE is going to have to do a lot more than just returns. Because on paper, what AEW did, not only on paper, but seeing it clearly on TV, AEW has set a precedent. AEW has set the bar at an all-time high. And again, we could go into all the negatives. We could go into all the debacles about the WWE. But I think right here and right now, ladies and gentlemen, the truth has to be said. Plenty more to come from the Brash One. Subscribe.